to Nightfall stories, where tonight you'll walk through a village that only exists after midnight. Take a slow breath in and gently let it go. The day begins to fade now. All its noise, all its movement, softly drifting away from you, like ripples smoothing over still water. There is nothing you need to do, nowhere you need to go. Tonight, you step into a quiet place between moments, a world that reveals itself only when everything else has fallen asleep, a place untouched by urgency, untouched by time, where you will experience the life of a wandering visitor, gently walking through a village that only exists after midnight. And as you move through it, slowly, softly, you may begin to feel yourself drifting too. The night feels unusually still. You walk along a narrow countryside path, your footsteps soft against the earth, barely making a sound. The air is cool, but not cold, brushing lightly against your skin like a quiet whisper. Above you, the sky stretches wide and open, scattered with distant stars that shimmer faintly, as if they too are moving more slowly tonight. Everything feels paused, not silent, but resting. The distant rustle of leaves, the occasional shift of grass, even the air itself seems to move with intention, slow, gentle, unhurried. You continue walking. There is no urgency in your steps, no destination pulling you forward. And yet, you keep going. Somewhere deep inside, it feels like you are expected. The path beneath you curves softly, almost naturally guiding you, as if it has always known the way, even if you don't. You notice how your breathing begins to match the rhythm of your steps. In step, step, out step, step. Everything aligns. The quiet, the night, your movement. And then you feel it. A subtle sense, not seen, not heard, but felt, as if the world is waiting, not for something to happen, but for something to reveal itself. You slow your pace even more, almost unconsciously, as though you understand that whatever comes next will arrive gently in its own time. And so you walk quietly, calmly through the stillness before midnight. At first, you almost miss it. A faint glow, resting low on the horizon, not bright, not calling for attention, just there. You slow without thinking, your steps becoming quieter, softer, as if something in you understands this is not a place to rush. The light does not flicker like a flame in the wind. It holds steady. You take another step forward, then another, and as you move, something begins to happen. A second light appears slightly to the left, then another farther beyond. Not suddenly, not all at once, but one by one, like something waking gently from sleep. You stop walking, just for a moment, watching. The darkness ahead begins to change, not disappearing, but softening. The lights begin to form a pattern, not random, not scattered, placed as if they have always belonged exactly where they are now. You feel it then, that quiet pull, not curiosity, something calmer than that. Recognition. You begin walking again, this time more slowly, more deliberately, each step placed carefully, your body moving with a quiet awareness, as though you are stepping into something that should not be disturbed. The air changes, only slightly, warmer but not by temperature, warmer in feeling, like the difference between being alone and being somewhere that has just been left moments before you arrived. You hear something faint, a soft metallic click somewhere ahead, then silence again. You pause, listening. Nothing follows, only the lights, continuing to appear one by one, stretching farther, forming something larger now. Not just light, structure. You exhale slowly and continue forward, because now you know this is not something you are discovering. This is something that is allowing you to arrive. The ground beneath your feet shifts, gently, not suddenly, not enough to startle you, but enough that you notice. The rough earth becomes softer, more even, as if something has settled into place just before you stepped onto it. You lower your gaze. A path, narrow but clear. It was not there before, and yet it does not feel new. It feels remembered. You take a step onto it. The surface gives slightly beneath your foot soft moss, cool and quiet. No sound, no gravel, no disruption. Your movement becomes slower, not by decision, but because the path seems to guide your pace. You follow it. The lanterns now stand closer, their glow steady, casting long, gentle reflections across the ground. The shadows between them are soft, nothing sharp, nothing hidden, only space. You pass beside the first lantern. Up close, it feels different. The light is warmer than you expected. Not bright, but deep. You lift your hand slightly, without thinking, and hold it near the glow. There is no heat, only warmth, the kind that settles, not on your skin, but somewhere deeper. You lower your hand and continue walking. The path curves, slowly guiding you between the lanterns, each one placed with quiet intention. You begin to notice something else. Small details. A wooden post, slightly worn at the edges. A faint mark on the ground, where something has been moved. The subtle shift of air, as if something passed through not long ago. You stop, just briefly, listening. There, again, a soft movement, not ahead, not behind, just nearby. You turn your head slightly, but there is nothing to see, only the lanterns, and the paths, and the quiet, and yet the feeling remains. You are not alone here, not in a way that brings tension, but in a way that brings calm, as if others walk here too, just not at the same moment as you. You breathe in, slowly, and as you exhale, you continue forward, more aware now, more present, as the path leads you deeper into something that feels less like a place and more like a quiet memory you are stepping back into. At some point, you realize you have already crossed. There is no gate, no doorway, no clear moment where one place ended and another began. And yet, everything feels different now. The air is softer, closer, not around you, but with you. Your steps slow even further. The path beneath you now feels firmer, smoother, shaped by something more than time. Stone, worn but clean. You look ahead. The lanterns no longer stand alone. They are attached now to something. Structures begin to form around you. Low wooden walls, faint outlines of rooftops, windows glowing softly from within. You take another step, then another, each movement careful, not because you need to be careful, but because the space itself asks for it. You pass the first building. The window is lit, warm, amber. You glance inside, not fully, just enough to notice a table, a chair, something resting on the surface, still untouched. You keep walking. The street begins to open, not wide, but enough to feel like something lived in. The ground beneath you carries faint marks, footsteps, not fresh, not old, somewhere in between. You hear something again, soft, a shift of wood, a faint settling sound from somewhere inside one of the buildings. You pause, your body still, your breath slow, listening. Nothing follows. No movement, no voice, only the quiet. And yet, the feeling is clearer now. You didn't arrive early. You didn't arrive late. You arrived in between, just after everything has been set into place, and just before anything begins again. You step forward once more. The village now surrounds you, not fully revealed, but no longer hidden. And as you move deeper into it, with slow steps, steady breath, and quiet awareness, you understand something without needing to think it. This place does not appear suddenly. It unfolds gently, patiently, only for those who move slowly enough to notice. The path opens, not abruptly, not all at once, but gently, as if it simply widens into something more. You step forward, and the space around you settles into form. A street, softly lit, lined with lanterns that hang at different heights, their glow resting against wooden surfaces, stone edges, and quiet corners that feel lived in. The ground beneath your feet is smooth, worn, just enough to feel familiar, like something walked upon many times, though not recently. You pause only slightly, taking in the stillness. It does not feel empty. That is the first thing you notice. There is no movement, no voices, no visible presence. And yet, it feels as though someone was just here. A door slightly ajar, though unmoving. A curtain resting near an open window still, but not forgotten. A chair tucked imperfectly beneath a small wooden table. Each detail carries a softness, a quiet trace of use. Nothing abandoned, nothing untouched. You begin walking again, your steps even quieter now, as if you naturally wish not to disturb what lingers here. The lantern light reflects gently off the surfaces around you, creating soft shadows that stretch and fade without sharp edges. You pass by small homes, their windows glowing faintly from within, but not brightly enough to reveal anything specific. Only warmth, only presence. The air carries a subtle scent, something warm, something grounding like wood, and something faintly sweet. You breathe it in slowly, and it feels familiar, not from memory, but from feeling. A place you recognize without needing to know why. You continue down the street, your movement unhurried, your thoughts quiet. And as you pass each doorway, each window, each still corner, that same gentle feeling follows you, that you have arrived just moments after someone else has passed through. A soft warmth reaches you before you see where it comes from. You follow it naturally, your steps guided not by thought, but by the gentle pull of something comforting. The street curves slightly, and there, tucked quietly between two softly lit homes, you find it. A small bakery. Its door is closed, but not tightly, resting just slightly open, as if it was left that way without urgency. A warm glow spills from within, softer than the lanterns outside, deeper, more golden. You step closer. The scent meets you first. Fresh bread, warm, soft, comforting, like something just taken from the oven not long ago. It wraps around you, gentle and familiar, grounding you even further into this quiet place. You pause at the doorway, your hand resting lightly against the wood, feeling its smooth, worn surface. There is no hesitation, only calm. You step inside. The space is small but full, not crowded but complete. Wooden shelves line the walls, holding loaves of bread in different shapes. Some round, some long, each one resting quietly, as though placed there with care not long ago. A faint warmth still lingers in the air, not strong, but steady, like the memory of heat rather than the heat itself. The oven sits at the back, its surface dimly glowing, but no flame visible, no sound of baking, only stillness. You walk slowly along the shelves, your fingers brushing lightly against the wooden edge, feeling its texture smooth from time, softened by use. There is a sense here, clearer than before, stronger but still gentle. Someone was here, not long ago, not hurried, not rushed, just present. A cloth rests, folded near the counter, slightly uneven, as if it had been set down without precision. A wooden board with faint traces of flour, a knife placed carefully, but not perfectly aligned. Each detail speaks quietly, not of absence, but of recent presence. You stand there, breathing slowly, letting the warmth settle around you, and without needing to see anyone, without needing to ask, you understand. You did not arrive too late. You arrived exactly when you were meant to, in the quiet space, just after everything has been gently set into place, and just before anything begins again. When you step back outside, the air greets you softly again, cool against the lingering warmth you carry with you. The street remains still, unchanged, yet somehow deeper now, as if you can feel more of it than before. You continue walking, not because you need to, but because the rhythm has already begun, and your body follows it naturally. Step softly, step gently. Somewhere ahead, you begin to hear it. At first, it blends with the silence, almost unnoticed. A quiet sound, repeating steady, endless. Water flowing. You follow the sound without thinking, your steps aligning with its rhythm, slow. And even like a breath that never stops, the street opens slightly, and there, at its center, you find it. A fountain, simple, rounded, made of smooth stone that reflects the lantern light in soft, shifting patterns. Water rises gently from its center, only to fall back again, over and over, without change, without pause. You step closer. The sound becomes clearer now, a soft, continuous flow, not loud, not sharp, just steady. It fills the space without overwhelming it, becoming part of the silence rather than breaking it. You stand beside the fountain, watching the water move, catching the light, then letting it go again and again. There is no beginning, no end, only motion, repeating endlessly. Your breathing begins to match it, in as the water rises, out as it falls, again and again. Time feels different here, not slower, not faster, just unmeasured. The fountain does not change. It does not need to. And as you stand there, listening, breathing, watching, you begin to feel the same. Still, steady, quiet, like something within you has found its place and no longer needs to move. You leave the fountain slowly, though its sound does not leave you. It follows, softly carried in your awareness, like a rhythm that continues even when unheard. The street narrows again, the lanterns spaced a little closer, their glow softer, now more diffused. As you walk, you notice something subtle, a shift not in the space, but in your attention, a presence, not sudden, not unfamiliar, just there, ahead of you, slightly beyond the reach of the nearest lantern. Something moves, or perhaps it doesn't move at all, and you simply become aware of it. A figure, faint, undefined, standing near one of the lanterns. You slow your steps, though not out of caution, only to match the stillness around you. The figure does not approach. It does not turn. It simply remains near the light, as if it belongs there. You continue walking, gently, your gaze soft, not fixed, not searching. As you pass, the lantern beside the figure glows a little warmer, its light deepening for just a moment, then returning to its quiet steadiness. The figure stays just beyond clarity, not hidden, not revealed, simply not meant to be fully seen. And yet there is no discomfort, only calm, a quiet understanding that this presence is part of the village, just as the lanterns, the fountain, the path beneath your feet. You do not stop. You do not speak. There is nothing to ask. As you move past, the space behind you settles again, the same way it was before, as if nothing has changed. And yet something has, not outside you, but within, a soft acceptance of things that exist without needing to be understood. You continue forward, your steps lighter now, your breath even softer, carrying that quiet presence with you, not as a thought, but as a feeling that gently fades without ever fully disappearing. The path draws you gently away from the street, the lanterns lowering, their glow softening as you move further from the quiet homes. The ground beneath your feet changes again, softer, darker. You feel it before you fully see it. A garden. You slow, your steps becoming lighter, as if the space itself asks you to move with care. The air here feels different, not still, but breathing. You take another step forward, and something shifts. A leaf trembles, though there is no wind. Then stillness again. You pause, watching. A flower nearby begins to open, not all at once, not noticeably, but enough that you can see it happening. If you remain still long enough, you lean slightly closer, your movement slow, unhurried. Petal by petal, it unfolds, and as it does, another closes just beside it. You shift your gaze. There, further in, another opens, another rests. The garden is not still. It moves, quietly, endlessly. You take a step deeper inside. Your foot presses gently into the earth, soft, supportive, almost as if it receives your weight rather than resisting it. A faint scent rises, sweet, calm, familiar in a way you cannot place. You kneel slowly beside one of the flowers. Your hand hovers above it, not touching, just close enough to feel the air around it. Warm, soft, and alive. You hold it there for a moment, then slowly lower your hand again. You do not need to touch it. You already feel it. A quiet rhythm surrounds you now. Not one sound, not one movement, but many layered together. Opening, closing, breathing, resting. You sit back, gently, the ground supporting you without effort. Your breathing begins to follow it. In as something opens, out as something settles. Again and again, and as you remain there, watching small movements unfold in their own time, you begin to understand. Nothing here is waiting. Nothing here is trying. Everything is simply continuing. When you rise from the garden, it is not with effort, but with a gentle unfolding, like the flowers you leave behind. Your steps return to the path, though now they feel even softer, as if the ground meets you halfway, easing each movement. The lanterns guide you forward again, their glow steady, their light calm, unchanged. And yet, something begins to draw your attention. At first, it is only a shape, resting quietly above a doorway ahead. A clock. You approach slowly, your gaze lifting toward it, noticing the smooth face, the delicate hands, the soft reflection of lantern light across its surface. It is simple, unadorned. Still, you pause beneath it, your breath slow, your body quiet. The hands rest at midnight, perfectly aligned. You watch them, not expecting movement, not waiting for change, just observing. A moment passes, then another. The fountain's distant rhythm continues. The lanterns remain steady. The air rests softly around you, but the clock does not move. It remains exactly as it is. Midnight, unchanging. You continue to watch, though time, as you know it, no longer feels present here. There is no ticking, no sound of seconds passing, no shift, no forward motion, only stillness. And slowly, gently, you begin to feel it, not as something you see, but as something within you. The absence of movement, the absence of before and after. Only now, your breath deepens, settling into a rhythm that no longer follows seconds, but sensation. In slowly, out even more softly. The clock remains as it is, and you realize it is not frozen. It is resting, just like everything else. Just like you, there is no need for it to move. Nothing here is waiting for the next moment, because this moment is enough. And as you stand beneath the quiet face of the clock, you begin to feel yourself resting too, not pausing, but settling into a stillness that does not ask you to leave. You move away from the clock, its stillness following you, not as a thought, but as a feeling that settles quietly beneath everything. The street curves, gently leading you toward a taller structure ahead. Its windows glow faintly, softer than the others. You step closer. A library. The door rests slightly open, just enough. You place your hand against it. The wood is cool. Still, you push gently. The door moves without sound. Inside, the air changes. Not colder, it's not warmer, it's deeper. You step in. Your footsteps soften immediately, as if the floor absorbs the sound before it can form. Shelves rise around you, filled with books, each one resting quietly untouched, yet not forgotten. You walk slowly between them. Your fingers trail lightly along the edges. Dust does not gather here. Nothing feels abandoned, only paused. You stop near a shelf. A single book leans slightly outward, not fallen, not misplaced, just slightly out of line. You reach toward it, pause, then gently you straighten it. The moment you do, you hear it, a soft shift somewhere deeper in the room. You turn your head. Nothing moves. Everything remains. And yet, something has changed. You continue walking. A table rests ahead. One book lies open. You approach slower now. The pages do not turn, but as you step closer, one page lifts just slightly, then settles again. You stop, watching. No breeze, no movement in the air, only that small, quiet motion. You sit down slowly across from it. Your hands rest in your lap. You do not read. You do not need to. The presence here is enough. You listen, not for sound, but for change. And every so often, Something shifts, a page settling, a shelf easing, the quiet adjusting itself, gently, endlessly. You remain there for a while, feeling the space breathe in its own way, before slowly rising again and stepping back toward the door, leaving the library exactly as it was, and yet not quite the same. The night welcomes you back softly as you leave the library behind. The lanterns glow as they always have, steady, unchanging, and yet something feels different. Your steps carry you forward without direction, without decision, until a warmth reaches you again. Familiar. You turn slightly. A café. Its light is softer than before, more settled. You step inside. The space is quiet, but not still. A cup rests on the table before you. Steam rises, slowly thinner than before, but still present. You move closer. Your hand reaches toward it. This time you lift it. Carefully, the warmth settles into your fingers. You hold it there for a moment, then gently set it back down. A faint sound follows. Porcelain touching wood. Soft, precise, and then another sound. Behind you, a chair. You turn your head slightly. The chair you passed earlier has shifted. Not much, just enough. You watch it. Stillness returns. You look back toward the cup. The steam continues, rising, fading, rising again. You sit. Your hands rest on the table now, not holding, just present. The warmth reaches you anyway. You notice small things now. A spoon slightly angled, a drop of tea near the edge of the cup, a second chair just barely moved back, as if someone stood up not long ago. You do not question it. You do not follow it. You simply sit, breathing slowly, listening without listening, and every so often, something adjusts. A quiet shift, a subtle change, as if the room remembers movement. Even when nothing moves, you remain there for a while, until the warmth in the cup softens and the space around you settles again into stillness. When you step out from the café, the warmth lingers with you, not only in your hands, but somewhere deeper, softer, as if it has settled into your breath. The village remains quiet. The lanterns glow as they always have, steady, unhurried, their light resting gently against the edges of the night. You begin to walk again, your steps slow, your body light, as if each movement is guided by something subtle, something that asks nothing from you. The path leads you onward, curving gently, until the space around you begins to open. The buildings soften into the distance. The lanterns spread farther apart, and ahead you see it. A river. It moves quietly, its surface smooth, carrying reflections that stretch and shimmer without breaking. You approach slowly, your footsteps fading into the soft earth beneath you. The sound is barely there, not like the fountain with its steady rhythm, but softer, wider, like a quiet breath that belongs to something much larger. You stand at the edge, your gaze resting on the water. The lanterns behind you reflect across its surface, long strands of golden light, bending gently with the movement, never still, yet never restless. You watch, and slowly you begin to notice something more. The reflections feel deeper than they should. Not just light, but something layered, something that holds more than what is above. You lean slightly closer, your breath soft, your awareness calm. For a moment, it feels as though the water is not only reflecting the village, but remembering it. Each ripple carries a softness, like an echo of something already past, something still present, just beneath the surface. You do not try to understand it. You do not need to. You simply stand there, watching, breathing, allowing the quiet movement to settle into you. In slowly, out gently. The river continues, steady, endless, unhurried. And as you remain by its edge, you begin to feel it, that this place, this village, does not disappear. It simply rests, just beneath where you usually look. A narrow bridge stretches across the river, its surface smooth, gently curved, waiting without expectation. You step onto it, your foot meeting the wood with a softness that feels almost silent. The moment you do, something shifts again, not around you, but within you. Your steps slow, not by choice, but naturally, as if the bridge itself invites you to move differently. Each step feels longer, softer, more complete. Step, pause, step, pause. The river flows beneath you. Its quiet movement reflecting the lantern light in slow, stretching patterns that seem to move with you. You place your hand lightly along the edge of the bridge, feeling the wood beneath your fingertips. Smooth, cool, steady. The air here feels heavier, not in weight, but in presence, like a gentle stillness that wraps around you, encouraging you to let go of even the smallest sense of movement. You stop halfway across, not because you need to, but because stopping feels natural. You rest there, your breath deep, your body calm. In slowly, out softly. Even the idea of time feels distant now. There is no before the bridge, no after it. Only this moment, suspended, held without pressure. The lanterns behind you glow faintly, their reflections stretching across the water. The village ahead rests quietly, unchanged, waiting without waiting. You remain there for a while, though while no longer feels like something you can measure, only something you feel. And when you begin to move again, it is even slower than before, as if each step is not taking you somewhere, but gently allowing you to remain exactly where you are. As you step off the bridge, the village feels different, not quieter, but deeper. The lanterns still glow, but their light no longer reaches as far. It gathers closer around each one, leaving more space between. You walk slowly. Your steps feel lighter now, less like movement, more like drifting. You pass the places you remember. The café, the door remains open, but the warmth inside is softer now. The library, still, the door barely shifted. The clock, unchanged. Midnight, always. And yet, something continues to shift. Subtle, gradual. The marks along the ground begin to fade, not disappearing, but softening, blending back into the surface. You stop, looking down, your own footsteps, less clear now than before. You take another step and watch. The mark remains for a moment, then slowly fades. You exhale. The air feels cooler now, closer to how it was before you arrived. You continue walking. The presence that once surrounded everything, that feeling of someone just passing through, grows lighter, more distant, like a memory that no longer needs to stay. A lantern beside you dims slightly, not going out, just softening. You pause beneath it. The glow brushes your face, faint now, gentle, resting. You look ahead. The village remains, but it no longer feels like something you are inside. It feels like something you are slowly stepping away from, not leaving, not losing, just allowing it to settle. You take another step, then another, and with each one, the space behind you softens, quietly returning to where it waits until it is seen again. The quiet continues to deepen, not as something that grows, but as something that gently settles. You walk beneath the lanterns once more, though their glow now feels softer than before, as if the light itself is beginning to rest. Each lantern remains lit, but only just, its warmth dimming into a gentler tone, like a breath slowly exhaled. You pause beneath one. Its glow brushes lightly across your face, warm, faint, steady. There is no flicker, no movement, only a gradual softening, a quiet dimming that does not take anything away, but instead smooths everything into calm. You notice how the shadows deepen, not sharply, but gently blending into the light, until there is no clear edge between them. The village feels as though it is settling into itself, like a body easing into rest, like a breath becoming slower and slower. You begin walking again. Your steps barely felt, your presence light, almost weightless. The lanterns continue to rest, one by one, not turning off, not disappearing, only softening, their glow becoming quieter, more distant, yet still there, like a memory of light rather than light itself. You pass the fountain. Its water still flows, the sound is softer now, blending into the air, becoming less a sound and more a feeling. You pass the bakery. The warmth remains, but faint, like the last trace of something that has already been given. You pass the garden. The flowers continue their slow movement, but even that feels gentler, quieter, as if their rhythm is slowing, settling, resting. Everything remains. Nothing leaves. And yet, everything softens. You breathe in slowly and out even more softly, feeling the same gentle dimming within yourself, not fading, just settling. The village holds you softly, quietly, as everything continues to rest. You walk, though your steps feel more like drifting now, guided by something so gentle. It no longer feels like movement at all. The sense of presence, that quiet feeling that someone had just been here, fades further, not disappearing, but dissolving into something more subtle, more distant, like a memory that no longer needs to be remembered. You pass by the café again. The cup still rests on the table, but its warmth is now only a trace, barely there, like the echo of something once held. You pass the library. The open book remains, but the sense of pause has deepened into something even stiller, as if the moment itself has settled into rest. You pass beneath the clock. Midnight remains, unchanged, unmoving, and now it feels even quieter than before, not holding time, but releasing it entirely. There is no awareness of before, no thought of after, only this. You continue walking, though even the idea of walking feels distant now. Your breath is soft, slow, almost unnoticeable. In, out, the lanterns glow faintly above you, their light barely touching the ground, like a soft memory of brightness. The air feels still, completely still, yet full, holding everything gently in place. And then, even that subtle sense of someone, that quiet trace of presence, fades, not lost, not gone, simply no longer needed. The village does not feel empty. It feels complete, whole, at rest. And as you move or drift, or simply remain. You feel it within yourself as well. Nothing to hold, nothing to follow, nothing to wait for. Only rest, only stillness, only this quiet, gentle, endless calm. At some point, though you do not notice when something shifts again, not in the village, not in the light, but in the feeling beneath everything, you find yourself walking, or perhaps simply being, along a path that feels familiar. The lanterns are farther apart now, their glow faint, distant, like stars that rest just beyond reach. The ground beneath you feels softer, less defined, as if it no longer needs to guide you. And ahead there is openness, wide, quiet, still. You step forward gently, without intention, without thought, and slowly, softly, the shapes of the village begin to fade, not disappearing, but loosening, blending into the quiet around them. The buildings soften, the streets dissolve into stillness. The lanterns become distant points of warmth, then softer still, until they feel like they are no longer outside you, but within. You continue forward, step softly, step gently, and then you are back where you began. The countryside path, the wide sky above, the quiet night, still calm, waiting just as it was. There is no moment of arrival, no clear transition, only a gentle awareness that you are here, and yet something within you has changed. Your breath is slower now, your body softer, your thoughts quiet, like distant echoes that no longer reach you. You stand for a moment, or perhaps longer, feeling the stillness around you and within you. The village is no longer visible, and for just a moment, you feel it again, as if somewhere behind you, a lantern softly settles into place. But it does not feel gone. It feels close, like something that rests just beneath the surface of awareness, waiting without waiting, existing without needing to be seen. You take a slow breath in and gently let it go. The night holds you softly, endlessly, and as you remain there, in the quiet, in the stillness, there is nothing more to do, nowhere to go, only this gentle, peaceful drifting as you slowly, softly begin to rest.